There's supposed to be music. They told me when I die, there'd be music. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being American, and YouTube Ronin. And hopefully you can all hear me okay, and for the brief moment, see me. Good evening. All righty. Welcome to the Mystery Movie Night podcast. I do see some friends out there in the chat. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim, the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. All right. Moving on. DJ Plain Ice. Welcome, sir. All right. I would like to say hello to everyone currently joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. All right. Well, my guests are backstage, hopefully, so I will bring them on. All right. We have with us, off the cover. Right on.
Been a while.
Supplies.
That's right.
Wilkie's Movies and Music. Corey is here.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us. Kyle Corwith.
For the last time, this is carbonated water, not beer.
Right.
That's okay. This is non-alcoholic.
Mine's carbonated water too.
Nice. We're all drinking carbonated water. Woo!
And I can't see her, but hopefully she's still there since Corner. The reason why I know everybody is truly
She's
here.
got to turn on her lights.
Weird. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't
That's
see
so
you.
weird. I have no idea what happened. Let me check my settings. Oh, it somehow reverted back to integrated webcam.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I have no idea. I didn't do that. Okay.
Ah, there you are.
I'm here.
Ghost in the machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you all guys all hear the background music still playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
that
right.
happened last time.
Well,
last time we streamed.
I cannot hear the background music at all. So, all right.
Oh, there you go. Ooh,
Now it's gone.
There.
okay.
Oh.
I didn't know if I was going to need to start dancing or what. Yeah, there you go, Paul.
Yeah.
Apologies for that, folks. Fun with technology.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
All right. We have two more super chats. Tim's pretty much the executive producer for the night right now. By this time, my lungs were aching for air. You know, Mitchell. Okay. Moving on. All right. Well, mystery movie night again, and this was a weird one because I was absolutely convinced it's already on VOD for some reason.
I think it had a limited release somewhere, and it's already available on 7 Seas. So
Really?
No,
somehow-
Sin, you're right. I checked, and then right after I came back from the theater, I thought, oh, I could have watched this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Warfare.
I know.
I could have
But
stayed at home.
I like the big
I have a
screen
projector, so
experience,
it's
but
fine.
You are.
oh, there you go. So
Oh, hold on.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
already
checked. I checked
on.
already
Yeah, it's
because
already on.
I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
seen
you're right.
something somewhere. I had seen it floating around like it got some sort of limited release, and now it's getting ready to. But that was weeks ago, y'all. So now it's going wide.
I just saw Warfare dropped on the IC. So if you guys
That's
haven't
fast.
seen it,
That's on top of my list. That's
good
one.
movie. Very good movie. I've seen it twice.
Corey, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
That and Sinners I want to get to soon. Not to
Oh,
get
the
off
big
track,
screen
but-
is kind of a
Oh.
must for both of those,
Yeah.
in my
And
opinion.
the 6 different formats it has, Sinners does.
Oh, it does? I've only been just to the regular.
The explanation I saw that Ryan Coogler gave was just ultra contrived. We have this version, and then we have that version, then there's this one, and there's that one, and I'm going to show you a graph of all of them over this dry erase board.
Oh, so when you say version, you mean like actual versions of the movie, not necessarily
Just
like
the way
IMAX or
the formats of it.
oh,
that's
the
all.
So
format.
like 70 millimeter or
Yeah, and the
IMAX
different
or-
transitions between
Mm.
the aspect ratios and different qualities,
Oh.
etc.
Mm.
And he mentioned about
I gotta see that soon,
That's
but it'll
interesting.
probably drop on the seas next couple weeks.
You
well,
haven't
even
seen
without
Sinners?
that. Oh, sorry, Sin. Go ahead.
I was just asking, you hadn't seen Sinners?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Oh,
I've been kind of laid out.
well, yeah, that's true. Okay, all right, that's forgivable then.
Yeah.
But I was just commenting today about how crazy the turnaround time is between being on the big screen to not just VOD, but on like Netflix or Prime or, so like another one that popped up on my phone was Hard Eyes. And I was just like,
Yeah,
we just were talking about that one not that long ago.
Yeah,
It didn't
few
seem
weeks
Oh,
like
ago.
that one dropped like months ago.
but it's like on Netflix now, so it just does not take too long. And that's probably what's hurting the theaters, not to go off on this thing, but like before, if you didn't see it in the theater, it was like 6 months to a year before you were going to be able to rent that
Yeah.
thing, so
Yeah. back in the
You
VHS.
had a- you
I
had
missed
a-
those days
Yeah.
because it allowed for anticipation, which is
Exactly.
really important when it comes
Yep.
to
but it
what
drew
made
people,
our culture special.
yeah. But it, like you said, what made it special, and it drew people out in crowds to the theater to see that thing because they knew they weren't going to be able to see it again
Yep.
for like months and months and months, not 2 to 3 weeks.
I mean, that's why Titanic was out in theaters for like a year.
Yeah. Well, they brought it back for like an encore. It was out for a long time, but then it still was like, no, people are still coming out to see it. Let's have another run of it. But
Wow.
anyway, sorry. I
yeah.
digress.
All right, yeah, we went way off.
Not slightly a
Deleted.
digression because
You
it's,
need to-
it's related to fight
Right,
or
all right.
flight. And
Right.
it
True.
released
Yeah,
on VOD
there you go.
pretty quickly.
Yes, there
Yeah.
you go.
Training
for us
the
to get off
audience.
track.
To
Thank you,
get
Kyle,
used to
for
this.
justifying me going off
But
topic.
deleted, don't hesitate to jump in and interrupt.
Yeah,
Right,
deleted.
right, of course.
Tell me to shut up at any time. I'll never take offense to it.
And
Okay. All right, everybody, shut up. Here we go.
Then you just violated his command.
All right. No, that's fine. Okay. FKHC 2005 with another super chat for $2. Buy some Torgo's pizza with us and a Mr. Peb. He's throwing out the MST references. And hello to Big Al Presents, the creator of the 10-Word Review, host
Hey,
of
Big Al.
Films with Friends. I am going to be joining him this Friday at a special time, 7 p.m., and we are going to be watching Marooned
I think I've seen that.
with Gregory Peck, Gene Hackman, Richard Crenna, James Franciscus. Basically Apollo 13, but the fake version.
Ah.
Mm.
All right. So, as I'm sure everybody's already guessed, tonight's movie was Fight or Flight with Josh Hartnett and Katie Sackhoff. I was very happy to
I
see.
know.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was great.
Mainly because all right, I'm going to get a little personal here. I used to date a woman who was a dead ringer for her.
Oh.
So I went to college and had a huge crush on somebody that looked exactly like her.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
I saw a woman walking down the street and looked just like. I just wanted
You
to
know
do
what?
it
She
in
was
a-
literally walking down the street of my city when she was here for a con and people saw her. She was like going to get a coffee or something. She seems like the coolest. I really like her a lot.
Yeah.
I've always liked her.
Logical Spark is here, as well as Tabasco Scenario. And of course, Tim, once again, Tim. I love you, man, but stop. Space Travelers, yes.
What's he trying to get you to watch this time?
Well, I mean, he already talked Al and me into this week's film, so
Oh, okay.
he's trying to convince me. Yeah. All right. All right. So, fight or flight. Basically, you have this, I guess, ex-CIA operative by the name of Lucas Reyes, played by
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kept thinking they were all CIA through the whole movie, but that
Seemed
becomes
like it.
that becomes something of a question as the film goes on as to who they actually, in fact, really are. Yeah. So anyway, Secret Service. Sorry, and he basically gets a chance to come back into the fold when he has this chance to go on this one last mission to bring in this terrorist referred to as the Ghost. And first, he's got to identify who this person is, and of course, it turns out to be the obvious least likely person.
Well, I guessed
And,
another person, but I still guessed correctly.
No, I was right, but because of course, who else was it going to be?
Right.
You know, and so it turns out that very much like a John Wick film, everyone is an assassin, and they wind up on a plane load of assassins, and basically
John
basically
Wick was
bullet
based on a
plane
plane.
happens. Yeah. Yeah. All
John,
right.
John Wick meets Bullet Train.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I don't see the snakes on a plane bit.
That's all it is.
Really?
Just because it's on a plane. There are plenty of movies that are on planes.
It's deadly on a plane.
It's
But I can see the Bullet Train thing. It's just different mode of
Right.
transportation.
it's very reminiscent of Snakes on a Plane because of the tone of the
Yeah.
movie.
Mm,
That kind of wildly shifts
comedic.
between
Yeah.
being a comedy and being this like super gory action film.
It just it doesn't.
No, it reminded me more of Kick-Ass. Matthew Vaughn.
Huh.
I could see that.
Yeah, there was definitely some Matthew Vaughn touches in there.
Yeah.
For sure. That's
You know what's
kinda
funny
the
about
thing with
the
this.
The synopsis that's provided on IMDb calls him a mercenary that
And
takes on a job tracking down a target on a plane and must protect her. Oh, they spoiled it! Her must protect her when they're surrounded by people trying to kill them both.
oh my gosh, they totally did.
They spoil
you
it
know,
in there in the
they-
log line.
They lead you to believe he's a mercenary, but then that's cleared up pretty
Yep.
early
Yeah.
on in that discussion between Katie and that guy, because he thinks he thinks that Josh is a mercenary.
So I read that same thing, and just what you said, Kyle. I was like, why did they say that much? It was the same thing when we were talking about Companion with
Yeah,
the
all they
trailers, where
needed
I'm
to
just
do
like,
was
just take that
say
one little bit out of
them.
there, and
Do that crap
Yeah.
all the time.
yep,
Mm.
like just give a little bit.
Or the individual. You just change the description a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be so specific.
That was dumb.
Well, yeah. Definitely
Done
was.
with them.
I like how the movie doesn't take itself seriously. Like, there's one scene where the the Asian ladies show up, and Josh Hartnett's like, "Yeah, sure, why the fuck not?"
No, that's
Like,
my
that was
favorite
so
part.
meta.
That movie, that moment made me laugh the most when they come charging into the aisle and she throws one of her hair needles at his leg. He takes it out. He falls on the ground, and then what's her Aisha? She's like, oh no, they're with me, and then he fucking slaps that geisha chick. That made me laugh the most.
And then she looks at him as like, no, she's with me too.
So one thing, I was happy that this was the movie, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. But you do have to suspend a shit ton of disbelief
I mean, like I
Oh,
said,
in order
it
to
doesn't
enjoy
take
this
itself
film.
seriously.
But also, I didn't realize how funny it was going to be. My movie buddy and there was a lot of laughter in the theater,
Yeah,
but a lot of it came from the two of us, because some of the stuff, like the one scene where it shows the person just filming what's going on with their phone. It's like, that is so relevant to the way people are, especially today with their phone.
I'll say it was bloodier and a little more brutal than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I don't think I paid attention to the rating
It was R.
that it being rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It felt like it would have been a PG-13 movie.
it leaned into it with some of the fight scenes and some of the gore.
Definitely did.
I
Instead,
think,
yeah, it was,
They had some fun deaths.
oh, I will agree
Yeah.
with that. That was some of my favorite. Not to sound bad, but that was some of my favorite stuff of the movie. But
I could have gone without the Wilhelm scream though. I'm getting pretty tired of that
favorite
thing.
is when he basically is on DMT and he's like tripping balls.
okay.
That was really
What? Let's wait. Let's wait to get to that because that's at the end.
Really?
And I
Yeah.
that was like some of my favorite stuff because there was like a fireworks scene at the end.
Yeah,
of it.
oh,
He
Are
was
we
it's
really
really
laughing.
going to do
funny.
this linearly? Deleted you.
Or
Make
no,
the
you
call.
deleted. You call for it.
Yeah,
Go
make
for
the
it.
call. How are we doing this?
He's like,
Well,
I don't.
do you do you want to go into spoilers? Can you talk about this movie without going into spoilers? Really? I mean,
not?
The
you know,
best parts are
serious.
going to get into spoilers, but whatever we want to say that's non-spoiler, let's get that,
Yeah.
put that
We,
forward.
we
then.
can save a
Okay.
spoiler. I mean, I don't necessarily
Yeah.
want to spoil it so much that people don't want to go see it because I think it's worth checking out despite some of the issues
Yeah.
that it had.
One
Yeah, I would say that,
non-spoiler-
okay, I would only recommend it to people that are fans of chaotic, over-the-top action, but most of all, people that are fans of Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
There you go.
What about what's that movie with the British spy and the it's like a John Wicky
Kingsman.
Kingsman, thank you. It kind of reminded me of that kind of humor.
Matthew
Yeah.
Vaughn. Thank
Mhm.
you.
And right along
Right.
with that, I would say if you like John Wick, if you like Bullet Train, and you kind of mash them together and throw some dark humor in with some bloody, gory fight action scenes, if that sounds like
Yeah.
your thing, I think you'll have a good time with it.
It's definitely similar to that. So I hate John Wick,
Okay.
except for the first movie. No, it's okay. I love Bullet Train, but John Wick 3 and 4. Oh my gosh,
But the first one,
1 is fine and
Okay.
2 is okay, but 3 and 4 just
give
it
me
went so
give me
off-
one, give me
So-
one.
Like so the thing with John Wick that I feel like is a little different from this movie. John Wick takes itself seriously.
Hmm.
And so
Well,
when you have him
partially.
That's what's so great about it.
it takes itself seriously when you have him falling off the roof of a building and just hobbling away like he's just going to walk it off and he'll be fine. I can't. This movie was completely over the top and didn't seem like it took itself seriously. I felt like it was a bit self-aware, so I could go with that much easier than I can with John Wick. But
Yeah.
it's very similar in tone with the chaotic action and coming up against just overwhelming numbers of opponents that you have to take on. It's like there is no way with the injuries this guy suffered.
Well,
Kind of like Kill Bill.
yeah.
Yeah, like Kill Bill.
When they laugh off the injury, I'm like, oh, I got to go again, you
Yeah.
know, and like get back up and like I'm gonna go again. All right.
Yeah, there's something distinctive about this type of action movie. It's not for general audiences. This is the over-top, high-octane, kind of anime-esque, maybe even. Like
Almost
I said,
like
Kill
Yeah.
Bill.
80s
It's not-
action-y type of stuff.
It's not the type of action movie that I grew up on, where it's a Harrison Ford action movie. You know, like
Mhm.
a Clear and Present Danger or
Air Force One.
Air
Yeah.
Force One, that type of action movie, which I do prefer. It's more grounded, that type of stuff. It depends on how they do it. If it's going to have that kind of spastic violence, this one does. And the only reason that, as I said before, I'm glad that I saw it to a degree is because Josh Hartnett, because of him.
Yeah,
I like
of
I
what
like
he
seeing
brought
him
to
come
it.
back. I like seeing him.
He was
back
great.
in some movies. Yeah.
He was so funny. I mean,
Yeah.
his comedic timing and just the comedy, the situational comedy and everything. I thought it was I thought it was really fun.
Now
I-
I got a non-spoiler question. Is this based on a book, comic book, anything, or is it the IP?
I
I
don't
think
believe
it's original.
So. No.
I have no idea.
Robert
I hadn't heard.
Rodriguez.
I'll look
Even
it up.
better, because we need that.
Robert Rodriguez mentioned on Joe Rogan how he knew about this project or recommended the script from the who wrote it, and it got produced that way.
Nice.
I will
Yeah,
say
Like,
that
his
We
original.
need more original content.
I'll
Or-
say the
really.
crowd that I had in the theater with me, since I've been doing these, which I've really enjoyed doing the mystery movies when I can get them in my area. the theater is the most packed I've ever been in when I do these mystery movie nights. And
Yep.
so I get crowd reaction during these. I had a lot of crowd reaction during this one, but it was an older crowd than I was expecting.
Mm.
So, like
And-
in my theater, it was supposed to be like full, like all the seats were taken. And when I showed up, it was a really shitty, like rainy day yesterday. It was like empty. It was like me and like
Oh, that
other
sucks.
people. Yeah.
We had a pretty full theater, and nobody left.
I had people laughing that were like much older people that I thought after some of the violence and some of the things
That
started
it would be a
kicking
bit
in,
much.
that
Oh,
they
two
would
people
leave,
walked out
and they
of
were
mine.
laughing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, go for it, man.
Two people walked out in mine.
Oh, I didn't.
did they?
I didn't
Oh.
notice anybody walking out of mine, but
When
they
did
could have.
What point did they walk out on?
Some of the, I mean, I don't exactly remember because I was
Maybe the champagne glass.
I'd be-
I was waiting for somebody with the head, the one lady in her eye. Sorry, not to go into too much.
How about the
You know what I'm
sprinkler
talking
in
about?
the bathroom?
Oh, that one.
Well, the one I was talking about, she got the champagne glass in the eye,
Yep.
and then he finally like, just headbutts it into her head.
Yep.
You know what he
And-
could have said after she expired?
Cheers.
Exactly. Just as he's getting up, you can imagine. Cheers.
That
You
would
know,
be
that
like
type of
that
thing.
would be like an Arnold quote.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
One of
But
his
you don't
movies.
make
that would, yeah, that
you
would have
make
made this scene
hazard in
actually-
the delivery of just
Yeah.
cheers. That type of thing.
Yeah.
That bathroom scene though, that one caught me off guard.
Are we going into spoilers?
I
now?
don't know. Sorry, sorry.
I don't
How
know.
do we
Wait.
help ourselves?
Okay. Yeah. Let's. All right. If there's anybody out there who is watching who does want to see this movie,
And if you care about
probably
spoil- yeah, if
best
you
believe
care about
now.
spoilers.
Um,
Or mute us.
and we're
you could mute us.
yeah.
Just mute us and watch
Yeah.
deleted scenes Avatar, and then you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Just right. Mute us until I take off the spoilers banner.
Banner.
So all right.
So we're there.
Okay, we're
Go
there.
for it. Go for it.
Yeah,
Go.
I'm curious to hear what y'all think about the
That
movie
guy
in total.
in the bathroom was the best assassin.
I love that whole build up to that.
Yeah, that was great.
What do you think of my? What do you think of my end? Woo, woo, woo.
But I
Can't you do both?
Opera star.
I knew as soon as he handed him the drink, I was like, ooh, ooh, be careful, be careful. But yeah, so unfortunately that wasn't.
This is what's interesting, actually. So the assassins, we learn sporadically over the progression of the movie that there are more assassins on the plane, yada yada. The first one we meet, for the audience who hasn't seen it, is this Spanish or possibly Spanish Latin guy, and he's a host or an actor, and he's trying on his intro for a show that he's going to be doing on Josh Hartnett. He does various versions as comedic beat. He brings personality to his little role, and he poisons him in a suspected whiskey cheers. And what's interesting, so he had the picture of Josh Hartnett, but not everyone else did then.
Yeah.
So why did he get it first and not everyone else? There's this stupid line. I thought this was ridiculous. When we're flashing back to the lame scenes in the undercover government agency, rooms, where the guy says that the hit has gone around the world 5 times. What the fuck does that 5 times? What does that even mean? It's
So-
circulated around the world, and the first time it doesn't get to people's phones.
So I thought, this is the way I took it. I thought that he just accurately called Josh's character as a potential competitor to get the ghost, because he was talking about, like, the conversation they were having was like he didn't want him to get in his way because he was going to be so
Yeah.
rich if he took this, if he got the ghost. So
Yeah.
I felt like that he was just kind of, because they were eyeballing each other, and they could scope out who was, a bounty hunter or whatever. And that was the impression I got. Did it show him
fair.
on his phone? Because I don't remember it showing him on his phone.
I think the first time that Josh Hartnett saw that they had his photo was in the first class when he was killing the
Someone
Chinese,
said everybody's got your picture or something.
Yeah, the Chinese triad.
Yeah, and I
Guys,
think
yeah.
that's when the photo came through. So I don't think this guy was looking at Josh as a mark, but as a competitor he wanted to take out.
Interesting. Is he really the only hitman who would do that, though? I mean, let's face it. Everyone in economy would be eyeing the guy next to them if they were. They would know. Okay, this guy's an assassin. He looks like an assassin. Which, by the way, most of the cast in this movie who are playing the assassins are clearly stuntmen. They just have that look about them.
Mm.
So if I can point out, okay, that guy's a stuntman. He's got the right amount of stubble. He's well in shape, etc., etc. I'm sure these guys can point out that guy's an assassin. That guy's an assassin. There's only one guy in first class that assumes that Hartnett is an assassin. I don't know about that, but
I don't know.
That's
That's the only thing that made sense,
no,
especially
and
since it didn't reveal.
it makes sense.
Yeah, maybe
And
the
it's the
writing
only-
for that wasn't
It's
the
the only
strongest.
assassin that has a personality.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from, no, not with lines. Everyone has most of, you have the geisha chicks, and then you have the Chinese. None of them have lines, really significant lines. They just have a look about them. They have, a design.
His was all
a
personality.
wardrobe. Yeah,
Yeah.
which they could have used a little bit more of.
I'll say with that first one though, I still love the whole when he tried to drug him with the whiskey, and he's like, I don't know why you're not asleep yet, and he's like, you can't pickle a pickle,
Yeah.
kind of. There was some line like that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I like that. I like that. You can't pickle a pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bathroom scene was really great.
There was a great fight scene. I'd say overall, it went on for a while too. I mean, I'm
And-
not saying in a bad way, but it
At the
lasted
end,
a while.
it called back to Die Hard because he was crawling
glass?
through the broken
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah. It's true.
So that was a nice little nod.
Why
thought
was
it
he
was
crawling through the vents?
The glass broken and him crawling.
Oh, I thought you
across
said he was crawling through the vents.
He was
No.
crawling
See, that
across the
ridiculous
glass.
when he was on the ground and then he just puts his face against the ground with the glass. It would have just gone right into
Yeah,
his
well,
into his
Yeah,
cheek.
there were a whole lot of abuse his body took that didn't necessarily
That
show
one
it.
stood out the most
On his
as
face.
egregious. Is when your main character intentionally puts his cheek against the ground full of glass.
Yeah. and
Everything
he's
else I
pretty
get,
much
but that
unscathed
one in
on that
particular
area.
is just that was over the top for me. Too over the top comparative to everything else, Him getting shot, stabbed. No, I can
You can deal with that.
I'll wave my hand at that, yeah. But the glass in the face? No, I mean Die Hard. He walks in that glass, it fucking gets stuck in his feet.
Yeah, it screws up his feet. It's true. True.
How about you, Deleted? What do you think?
Yeah. It's like, well, for one thing, this is one of those movies where everybody is Rasputin until, until the script needs them to die.
Not be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh Hartnett is basically just a pincushion in this film. And didn't you hype him up on the adrenaline or whatever the hell it was at the end? And it's just
So it
like,
was Toad.
okay,
Toad Venom.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. I have to talk about this specific scene with the Toad Venom. Toad Venom, is it basically has DMT, which fucking just takes you to another realm. So the way it was depicted was actually closer to what shrooms look like the
Yeah.
the morphing of the woman's face that's probably like more shroom level.
I'll say some of my favorite scenes came after that too.
Well, I'm getting results. I was going to look this up in the theater, but I self-control kept my phone away. And it says most patients have gastrointestinal symptoms consisting of nausea, vomiting, and abdominal discomfort, which really didn't happen with Hartnett here.
Wait, with the toad venom?
Yeah, it says
No. So like you can actually lick these like I think it's like the Rocky Mountain toad.
Mhm.
toads have toxic
Well, for like
substances
20
in the
minutes.
skin and parotid glands.
Yeah. I mean,
Those
doesn't
are the
really-
results I'm getting.
Huh.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, the movie was more fun. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing him on the toilet or something.
He
Like
did
that.
put in his mouth.
That
Although
wouldn't
that
have
could have been a
worked very
thing.
well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go
Yeah,
there.
thing.
But
Maybe like briefly if they had made it a thing, that would have been pretty fun.
and he was like using the door to beat somebody up.
Go
or
back to
something.
that bathroom again. That's a big ass bathroom.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
do a lot with it, right?
He did put the soap in his mouth to try to puke up the
Yeah.
the
And
Yeah.
he did, yeah.
But
yeah.
Turn
Yeah,
the
I-
cold
Show
water
that.
on.
Yeah, that
Thankfully, they
one,
didn't
one of
show
the
him
early
vomiting.
notes I wrote to myself was that yet it would have been absorbed in his system. He couldn't have thrown all that up because it was
Yeah.
liquid. It went in his stomach, and it was a while before he made himself throw up. So that's when I started to write like some of my first, like, "There's no way," And
Yeah.
then it was happening more and more, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." I think that's the point. It's not supposed to be taken seriously, so
No.
I'll just kind of
Well,
go with it a little bit.
Why should you take it seriously if it doesn't take itself seriously?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
having some
exactly, and
fun.
it definitely doesn't. And the comedy saved it. I really, really
Yeah,
enjoyed the
yeah.
comedy in here, especially the scene where he had stuffed the guy up in the ceiling, and he's
Yeah.
talking to the two flight attendants, and then the arm falls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like don't
Oh
mind,
my
don't mind
God.
that. Okay, but how easily did he talk them into like helping
Very
him?
easily. That's
Like, I'm
another
like-
example of it.
I'm
Like,
like, come
this
on.
is very convenient. And he doesn't look like a government agent. He looks
And
like
then I'm
a
like, just don't think about it too much, Corey. Just go with it.
Look,
yeah.
Josh Hartnett has always had good comedic timing, even
Yeah.
back when he did 40 Days and 40 Nights, and it was
Yeah.
I remember even as a kid when it came out that people were talking about how that was an embarrassing choice for his career, a sex comedy. But
I like
I
it.
think he's
I liked it. Yeah.
really good in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, he's a good
And
actor.
from,
I
like,
like his
the
acting.
Faculty, if you remember, that was one of my favorite.
Faculty is great.
Great.
I love
Oh,
that.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
He's given young Harrison Ford vibes in that. And then
Yeah.
soon afterwards, they would actually star together in Hollywood Homicide, which is another underrated
Oh yeah,
comedy
that's
that people,
true.
it got panned.
They did.
nobody-
I forgot all about
no-
that one.
Talks about that movie, even when they go back and do the timeline of my career. They don't mention it with Harrison Ford. They don't mention it with Josh Hartnett.
Oh wow.
You have to look at these obscure interviews that are Zoom interviews, blurry, etc. for Josh to talk about that movie and how he didn't really have a great experience working with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I knew
Hero.
that much. I remember that
Yeah.
much when it came out.
Doesn't that
Harrison Ford
fucking
was
suck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Don't
Harrison
meet your
Ford
heroes,
considered-
people.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I was just thinking.
Is Harrison Ford considered to be an asshole?
I
It
have
depends on who he works with, and it really
Yes.
just depends. Look, I've been around some actors, and it really just depends on who is working with
who
them.
they have good chemistry with, and
like-
he's kind of like Harrison Ford is kind of like he comes across as kind of like one of those curmudgeony old people. If you rub him wrong, you're going to be his enemy. He's just
and
not
it's
going to like
also
you.
The people that are going to let themselves be treated a certain way or don't stand up for themselves. Josh Hartnett gives the impression, I get the impression that he's that kind of actor who just is laissez-faire and is just nice.
Yeah.
And if he gets any push from, say, a big personality or someone of high caliber or echelon as Harrison Ford, he's probably going to be intimidated by that.
Yeah.
So I don't
can
think he
see
pushed
that.
back against whatever shit that he was dealing with on Hollywood Homicide.
Most likely, I could see that being the case. I heard that he had moved away from Hollywood.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Because now he's
That's-
getting a resurgence and he deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. I've
What-
liked him ever since his debut film, H2O, Halloween 20 years later.
Oh yeah.
Terrible
Hey,
fucking haircut with the wing.
Yeah,
No,
the-
that-
fucking wings
it was
in the
like
back.
that in The Faculty too, though. He
Okay,
had
but
he had the
I
wonky
love
hairline.
both of those movies though. Faculty
I
and
do
H2O.
too.
I love them both.
I think I
Faculty's
like
better.
H2O.
I'm not
more,
gonna argue
though
that, but I
Faculty
love
is
both
better.
of them.
I
Yeah.
love The Faculty. That was one of my favorite horror movies. Back
They need to do a fucking sequel of that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Kyle, stop. No,
No.
no,
If
no,
it's written
no,
well, they could
no,
do a
bad
good
Kyle,
job.
bad.
Can you imagine?
Shut your camera off. Go home. No, no.
Can you imagine Josh Hartnett as, and he, by the way, he still looks like he's in his late 30s. What is
Okay, not to
the
sound
40s,
weird, but the dude
high
looks
40s?
good for his age, man.
I don't remember him being as built as he looked. in
He's
this
doing
film.
good.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Has he always been his
He's
arm?
taking
So
care of himself?
Yeah, he
he
has.
has.
He was
I did not
lanky
like. I did
in
not
The
like
Faculty.
Trap. So this makes up for Trap. Sorry,
Mm.
what was that?
I mean, he was lanky when,
Dear
when
Lord,
he was
the guy is 46 years old. He looks like he's 37.
Yeah,
Hey,
He looks
don't
good.
talk about 46 being old.
Relative to
I might be older
This
than that.
I'm definitely.
Relative-
I am
Josh
definitely
Hartnett,
older than
that guy
that.
shouldn't look as good as he does.
No, he looks great, and I love seeing him coming back into some movies. So whether like even like Trapped, even if you don't like the movie, I love seeing him coming back and getting into some
Agreed.
films that
Agreed.
are.
Yeah, I do
I
like-
love
and-
seeing that.
I like the look of his character with
Yeah.
the bleached blonde hair. It's like
Yeah.
someone you can't necessarily take seriously as the type of character he's
Yeah.
supposed to be. It's just like this odd contrast.
Well,
Yeah.
he was living in an Asian country, and that's the type of
Thailand.
Asian kind of dye highlighting
Yeah.
that they would do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also like the
Trap was crap, by the way.
it was not.
It's
good.
okay, but I love seeing him. When I saw him coming back into that, I was
Oh, I
I
was,
was
very
happy. I was
disappointed.
happy,
It was a
but I was
very
happy to see
bad
him back in a movie.
One of the worst of last year for me.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a letdown. I mean, one of the reasons I went to see it though was because of him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's me
Yes.
too.
People
I
are
do like-
underestimating the draw that that I keep saying Harrison Ford. That well, there's a parallel there. We
Yeah.
talked
That
about
an
how
actor?
he has some vibes
Yeah.
to Harrison Ford. He does.
He's got some of that cool to him.
Yeah. So there is a draw with Josh Hartnett for audiences out there.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
Troy.
we're displaying that right here.
Yeah, I do like the scenes.
Hey, Troy.
Land. Those are pretty funny. Where he's like, he wakes up in the little trolley, and like the little boy's trying to steal from him.
He takes his cigarette and gives him his money.
Out of the
Yeah, let's
kids
have
here.
it for the one cigarette.
He's like, "Yeah, you can have my all my money, but I'm taking your cigarette."
I like how they slowly filled in some back information as to why he was so beat up
Yeah,
when you first find him. Well, it's because he'd gotten in one of those fights, like what he was involved in on the plane, and he killed all those people that came after him.
yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I'm not quite sure what sort of organization it was. Was it the CIA that just was kind of like that was using this company as a front?
Yeah. So they usually
That's-
do that. Like in
okay.
real life, they do that. I
Okay.
read that in Snowden's book. Yeah, and so like I think Katie Sackhoff's character was CIA, and then all the other dudes were contractors.
Contractors. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, no, it's totally plausible.
I'm going to be very honest. The scenes in the government offices and that dialogue that just went on and on and on, my mind just wandered and stopped listening to all those fucking scenes. The convoluted plots that they get into and the things happening without showing, just telling, was not good writing and had me wandering
Mm.
my mind and attention to other things. Just in my
thing
mind.
to pick, I want to piggyback off that. So the scenes in that office, when I saw that, I'm like, oh great. There was a slight tinge of wokeness. The white guy was, couldn't control himself, cursed and like yelled and whatever, and then the woman comes in and she's all
With the bold dyke haircut? Yeah.
cool and collected. So what I guess dark age of cinema is not completely over.
I didn't.
What
pick up
happened
on
to
that
actually
being wokey,
giving
though.
women
I didn't get
haircuts
that.
and hairstyles that were appropriate and not making them look like lesbians all the time?
I don't know if that's true.
Are you kidding me? The
Not-
haircut
not-
that
not
she
in all
has
movies.
in
Oh,
Well,
this?
no,
she
no, no.
definitely had a different haircut, but
but
but it also it was also made clear that she's not a lesbian. She just
Yeah,
very-
right. That she dated Josh Hartnett. That's fantastical.
She is-
This is the most fantastical thing in
That
this
she
movie.
dated-
Of all the over-the-top incidents and moments in this movie, the thing that had me roll my eyes and just go wide was to hear her say, "Yeah, I dated Josh Hartnett." Yeah, fucking right, lady.
Hold on. So I do have like a retort to that. She has a similar haircut to Charlize Theron in one of those alien movies. Whatever it was, Prometheus.
Oh, yeah.
She has the same haircut, basically.
Oh, I
Or
Charlize being in that.
No.
what's her face? Claire Underwood in Blade Runner 2049. What's her face? Robin Wright. Same
Yeah.
haircut.
That yes, correct. But
Everybody's Googling
Right.
haircuts right now.
dated Josh Hartnett. Oh man.
Sin, what haircut do you have on your screen right now?
No,
I'm
I
just kidding.
don't like the
I'm
way-
kidding. I'm kidding.
This one.
Hey, hold
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Kyle,
you
are
mean no? I'm not looking up haircuts.
Kyle, are you implying that Katie Sackhoff is not good looking? Because
the way that they shot her, and I don't know what else she's done with her face. She must have gotten work done or something. They get the camera so close up in her face. It's not
I
flattering.
honestly don't think that she has had any work done, but she has leaned out in her face.
yeah, she did lean out.
I mean, I've watched
it's
her for
that
years.
or that. It's one of those
I think
things, and it's
she's gotten
not doing
very
her
lean in her
favors.
face, and she's always had a very strong, prominent jawbone and cheekbones.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then leaned out. It just
Yeah.
it emphasizes it. She almost looks skeletal in her face in
Mm.
this movie.
That or the alternative. It's
I don't know,
it's
man.
just-
She still looks good.
She looks better on her. Like I feel like they went out of their way to make her look very harsh because that was the type of character that she was supposed to be. So I think they leaned into that on purpose.
There was no nuance to it. It was just like, I'm a bad guy, and just like lean straight
Yeah,
into
she definitely
it. But
was.
Oh, she's not that old. She's only 45.
Thank you,
Yeah, she's like Josh's age.
because I'm older.
no. Josh is older. Josh is older.
He's 1 year older,
I love hearing younger ages commented as not
right?
that old.
About how old it is.
Yeah, right. Well, it's not that old. I'm like, thank you.
What was the sci-fi? Oh, she was on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, she was.
Mhm.
She was
Yeah.
the race. She was not the race swap. She was the gender swapped Starbuck.
Starbuck.
Yeah.
Back before gender swaps felt like they were agenda motivated.
Mm.
But yeah, she was.
But call me old school. I like it when you have the femme fatale women who look like women that are supposed to be sexy on screen. That's part of why Sydney Sweeney is doing so well.
Mm.
When you have a bad woman character who we went over this. She dated Josh Hartnett. She looks like a lesbian, and she's not. They don't film her in an appealing or flattering way. It's just
I
I
don't know.
don't like.
I
I don't like the way
disagree
they-
with that. I mean, I don't know. I didn't catch that.
I don't get the sense that she was supposed to be femme fatale though. Femme fatales
I'm
are
saying
supposed to be
is
very
I would-
sexy,
I
and
would-
she was
I
just
would have
like
liked to
like
have
La
seen
Femme
that.
Nikita or whatever. What's her face? Lilu Dallas. Like those are the femme fatales. Or the bride from Kill Bill. Those are the femme fatales.
So there's an actress that she reminds me of, and they actually could have gotten her in this role, and she would have pulled it off too.
who is that?
Renee Russo, Thomas Crown Affair.
Oh yeah, Renee Russo. I can see the resemblance
Yeah.
a little.
Mm.
And so picture if they had made her up the way that Renee Russo looks in the Thomas Crown Affair. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can
Not
see
to lean into the other thing, but I was actually in a heated argument not too long ago that I didn't think Sydney Sweeney was that attractive. So there you go. We'll throw that out there. But moving on.
I mean, no,
Corey, hold on.
And Paul's
I
like,
actually
"Shut up,
kinda get
Corey."
it. I actually kind of get it. I like,
yeah,
her face.
she's okay.
And-
like her face,
and,
she's cute.
Like, I'm not gonna like
she's all right. She
slam
has-
anybody because
Yeah,
somebody
it's-
could look at my
it's
face
not-
and be
it-
like,
it's
"Corey,
not
you're
so
not."
much-
anything
It's not
to
so
talk
much her
about,
face
but-
they're talking about, though.
I know. That's where I'm like,
Yeah. Boing.
No, I've said this before. It's the culmination or the collective traits that she has.
It's her personality.
It's
too.
the way that she carries herself. She's
Yeah.
not overly sexualizing herself. Yes, she does know what assets she has and she'll show them off, but she does it in more of a tasteful way than
Yeah.
others have or would.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not judging her, man. If I could make the
And
money
she's
she
cool.
made, I'd go
She's
for
cool
it.
as hell in real life. I saw some interviews and like she's not dumb. Like
I-
Yeah,
I've-
she ain't a fucking idiot. She's not a wokey. I've
seen some-
secretly based. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
seen some hilarious things where she's leaning into the assets you're talking about and like joking
course.
around about it, and I'm like,
yeah.
have fun with it. I'm like, man, if I could make half the money she makes on some of the things.
I said this to I said this once, that Sydney Sweeney reminds me of an actress or the nerdy girl from school that you used to know who magically woke up one morning and she had big tits.
Yeah.
And she's really happy about it.
She's all that.
Yeah.
Or- what
Yeah.
movie? What, was that the movie? She's all that, or what was the one where they just put a ponytail and like glasses on them? They're the nerdy girl, and they take the
Yeah,
glasses
Yeah,
off,
they
and
take them
and
off
take the
suddenly
ponytail
they're
off,
beautiful,
and
yeah.
then everybody thinks they're hot. Anyway, deleted. We went way off schedule. What would you like to talk about now?
Way off more.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, let's bring it back to
Um,
the movie.
Corey
Um,
is never invited on.
talk-
No,
stream
it's
again.
not just you. We
Okay.
all do it.
No, I'm probably to blame the most.
no. Oh, hey, you want to talk about Sydney Sweeney? Shit, don't threaten me with a good time.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, leaning into some of the things, not to start talking again, because I always do that. But the humor in this, I think it was brought up before,
Mhm.
roped me back into this movie. So some of the humor, some of the action sequences and the humor that they leaned into in those, I think it brought it back around to kind of edge it up a little bit more for me, my viewing experience. But
I agree. I think if it hadn't been so comedic, it probably wouldn't have landed as well as it did
Yeah.
for me. Not that it landed, like in my top 10 or anything, but I wasn't angry.
Yeah, it was
I didn't feel
fun.
hugely disappointed or, whatever. It was fun. Yeah, exactly.
I had two fun movies in a row. Sunday night I saw Thunderbolts, and last night I saw this.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
both were fun movies.
Oh, that'll be a different discussion. I'm curious to find out.
I'm
Although
sorry.
I'll watch your video.
Don't you mean
yeah.
the new Avengers?
Yeah, they're the new
That's
Avengers.
part
spoiler
of what I was
alert!
thinking.
Good thing you got the
We're in
spoilers on
spoilers,
the
man.
bottom.
Yeah.
Good thing you got the spoilers.
I was just
rolling.
that was a placeholder name.
Yeah.
No,
But we'll
they're,
talk
they're
about-
actually changing the name of the movie on all the posters. to
I
the
know
movie.
Thunderbolts was a placeholder name.
Hey,
Talk
guys, did you
about
know that they're-
desperate.
The title of Fight or Flight to Flight or Fight.
Wait,
what?
say that again? Oh,
They switched
Flight
it
or-
around,
I don't
or
know.
they were going to.
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh,
Stop
he's
it!
just-
Stop
he's
it!
just yanking
You're
our
just messing
name.
with us. Now I was
Yeah,
thinking about
he
it too
is.
much. Kyle, stop it.
Okay, so
We're not inviting Kyle in. No, I'm just
He's
kidding.
been misbehaving. None of that sequel talk. Back.
Yeah, I'm
Back
taking you
Kyle.
too seriously.
no, there is a
Look.
page dedicated to the faculty sequel. So I'm not alone on this. But to relate it back to, we're talking about leading ladies. Let's talk about this actress playing Aisha. I think, and I like that there's a scene where Josh Hartnett's character points out how fucking obnoxious, condescending, and arrogant she is, because she is, and it's
Mhm.
annoying. And the scene where it's near the end of the movie, she's doing her monologue about how she came from I think sex slavery or workshop slavery,
Human trafficking.
Yeah,
human trafficking. And I didn't buy that for a second. Her performance, partially the way it's written, is just I didn't buy that I didn't believe her.
Well,
I didn't.
the one thing that I questioned right away: how would human traffickers know that a 7-year-old is good with computers to the extent where she can like be this awesome hacker?
don't question. Just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
No, I
just
agree.
think
I
that
agree with you, Paul. I agree.
I just think that the movie would have been improved if they had cast somebody who wasn't so fucking obnoxious. in this role. She just gave
I mean,
this
no,
air of
but it was
condescension.
written obnoxious.
I
Yeah,
think
but
that was
it wasn't
but
way
the
out
she's
of
supposed to
character.
be the role that we're supposed to care about to a degree that Josh Hartnett is protecting. So we should like her to some degree, and they're giving her traits of someone that should be likable. She's a victim of human trafficking. But like as I said, I don't believe her that happened the way that she was describing it. Her performance was not believable. So I think they could have cast somebody better for that role.
Well, the protection part, obviously, in the beginning, he's only protecting her because it's his redemption, not because she's portrayed as being this terrible, awful terrorist person. So I think initially you're not supposed to really like her. And then when it's revealed who she is,
free jail card.
I thought it was going to be the old lady with the cane. I was like, you watch The Ghost, it's going to be that old lady with the cane because he said she was injured. You know,
I
and the
just
ladies
thought she would end up being an assassin. They should have done something with that. The old lady.
They should have, and they never did.
I don't know why, but for a second, I thought they were going to do a big twist, and it would be Josh
as
the ghost.
As the ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. I was waiting for some big
pretty early on that was not.
I know, but I just was like, I don't know. I was waiting for some big switcheroo on something, but
well, Sin just jogged the memory, or the idea for that is make the old lady the penultimate assassin on the plane. Somehow.
That would have been hilarious if she'd been the one like to actually take the ghost out or something.
Yeah, or maimed her pretty well.
Yeah.
But I still like what you were saying, Kyle, with what that little speech and like saying like, you know, he kind of told her off a little bit, but you know, she was just like, well, yeah, but you're still drunk or whatever, you know, kind of a thing. And there was that back and forth between the two of them. And, I don't know. I liked it
back from Hartnett, because you can imagine a version of this movie where he's completely just put down and he doesn't bounce back at all. You know?
Yeah, and he's not. He just like comes back and is like, man, this is what I am. You know?
Yeah. She says, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna protect me? I'm gonna fucking like he does that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And at one point she says, What are you gonna do? Take me down or something? And I laughed, I chuckled. It's like, yeah, he's 6'4" or something like that,
dude's
and
really
you're
tall,
5'3".
strong.
He's gonna take you down if he wants to.
He's a little bit more skilled in the fighting than she actually is. I mean, she's not a highly trained or skilled fighter. She manages to kill the guy that's coming after her because she uses a whole bunch of stuff. You know,
which I appreciated.
Yes,
and it's part of what we talked about before. I noticed that. In that this is how you deal with female characters that are versing off against men, that you have to make it so that the female characters, we brought this up when it came to Ballerina, I hope they do this, is you implement the environment, they use the environment around them and props and tools, and there's to take down these men. That's how you do it.
Yeah, this reminds me of, so I have rewatched The Accountant, the first Accountant. I love that movie, but I've rewatched it like 2 or 3 times in the last couple weeks. There's that scene where Anna Kendrick's character, they come after her. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, they come after
like through
her.
The bathroom and everything.
Yeah, she's just a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
She's very little, and this guy's grabbed her, and they're getting ready to kill her, and she uses the grate on her stove.
Yeah,
the grill thing on her stove to smack the shit out of them, and then she's able to run into the bathroom and lock herself, and then she uses the toilet tank to smash his hand, you know, and she didn't take him down, but she certainly fended him off long enough, and that was a completely believable scene the way that played out. The bathroom scene.
Absolutely, because it's like you're not going to see a 120-pound person take out a 220-pound person just like fighting straight on, but using your environment
in The Last of Us, as a matter of fact.
And that's complete bullshit. That was an issue. I did have a bit of an issue about Thunderbolts. The very beginning, the scene with Yelena taking down all of those guys. It's like, no, I can't buy this.
We'll talk about that on Thursday, Sid.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't enough to make me hate it, but it was just like, come on, she's not a super soldier. Get out.
But with this movie, like you're saying, they're being smart and using their environment around them to help get an advantage over somebody that has an advantage over you.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the
It's
way
just-
those scenes should
You
always
can
be
tell that
written.
the writer and directors, they're utilizing the environment around them pretty well, and they
Yes.
make it creative as
Yes.
much as they can. At one point, Josh Hartnett is trying to rescue Aisha. She's taking down an assassin but struggling a bit, and he's trying to get one of the bigger assassins killed, and he pins his neck down with one of the armrests. That's not good enough, and then he wraps a seatbelt around his neck. So
Awesome.
I will
again,
say,
Josh Hartnett is fantastic, and he's good. I can't wait to see what else.
By the
he
way,
does.
what's with the guy
Exactly.
that gets stuffed into the overhead compartment?
That was
the
so
little
funny.
guy
he like
and then-
opens it up and
and
lets
he
him hit a guy and then
Yeah.
shuts it back on him
Hartnett
again.
knows Lucas is the character's name. Lucas knows that if he opens it up, the guy's going to retaliate to somebody. It doesn't matter if it's a blind hit,
yeah.
and that's what he does. Opens it up, hits one of the assassins, closes it back down. Just great.
So much comedy in this movie.
Yeah.
So crazy.
So I wish that they would have cut all those fucking scenes in the government offices, stayed on the plane, similar to Flight Risk, but Flight Risk didn't do it as well. It wasn't as well written and creative, and it wasn't obviously the same kind of tone and
Yeah, yeah.
etc. But I would have wanted to see the movie not leave the plane.
Hmm.
Did we leave the plane in Snakes on a Plane? That was a weird sentence.
Eventually at the end.
Briefly.
At
yeah.
the end. Right. So we stayed on the plane. I think they should have done that for this movie.
Yeah.
Stay on the flight. And
Nate
fight.
says Black Widows are not just highly trained. They have earlier version of the Soviet Union's attempt at a super soldier serum. They are quicker, more agile, a little bit stronger than regular women. Okay, here's my thing. Okay, I have not seen Black Widow, so I
So-
don't have that
That's
to base
okay.
anything on.
So here's
Now-
the thing. In the comics, that might be the case. In the movies, they do not really lead you to believe that they've been on any sort of serum to make them stronger. So,
Okay.
oh, sorry, deleted. Go ahead, finish your thought.
No. You answered the question, because the thing with and I said this in my review, and this is before this morning when I read that stupid story about they got so desperate that they changed the title, and then I just said basically
Oh,
fuck this movie.
That was always
Um,
the plan, though, as far as that, because, like I said, the placeholder thing.
It was
I don't think that
it was a sleazy.
It was like a
stunt.
marketing, yeah, is what it was.
It's just a double dipping type of thing to drum up attention.
And they also do call
Well-
them the new Avengers at the end.
Yeah. But that's accurate to the comics, because probably Spider-Man is going to be the new Tony Stark. He's going to be the leader of the Avengers.
Can't
Spoiler
capture
alert.
lightning in a
Alright,
bottle
again,
twice,
Yeah.
guys.
Going off.
Oh yeah, off topic. I
Alright,
do
yeah,
want to.
This is Thirsty Thursday talk.
I know.
I know. Sorry,
Yeah.
deleted.
I'm gonna take it back to the movie.
We'll
I
talk about that
do-
in 2 days.
I do like the fact that they left the teaser cliffhanger at the end for a sequel, because I wouldn't mind getting
A
more. of
possible
this type of-
sequel. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
Wait, sorry. Are we talking about Thunderbolts or Fight or Flight?
No,
'Cause I didn't
Fight,
stay for the
Fight
end.
or
fight or flight.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, that
At the
whole
end.
Did you not watch the end?
the wall exploding?
What's end? No, I saw that. I thought you were saying that there's something after the credits.
Well,
I
like,
don't know.
Could it lead
No.
into another movie?
I don't-
The end.
Well, it can't be called Fight or Flight. Then it would have to take place on a flight again, and they fight.
Then they'll just call it fight or fight. No, I don't know.
But flip it around. Like,
Yeah.
they just flip the words around. For dyslexic, they won't even tell the difference.
But it led into whether they thought that was a cliffhanger or not. You know, kind of a like
was
what's
nothing.
going to happen next kind of a thing.
If it does well
Yeah.
in theaters, it's getting a sequel. Duh.
I don't think it's going to do well enough to warrant a sequel, but I guess we'll see.
That's
Right?
what
I mean,
I had fun with it, but this was kind of like a
One and
straight
done.
to streaming thing.
That's
to
what
me.
it felt like. It was a
Yeah.
one and done.
I would disagree with that.
That's okay.
Fight.
Yeah.
It was a fight 'em up movie
Okay.
instead of a shoot 'em up movie. It was a fight 'em up movie.
No, Paul, like I love hearing different opinions. Like, so
Yeah.
when you say that, what, why do you say that? Just throw that out there.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that it's like Bullet Train. So Bullet Train was released in theaters. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's like a movie that's designed to be seen in theaters, not like on the small screen, in my opinion. I don't know. They have done that big movies direct to streaming, which is downright dumb, but I like it when these kinds of movies are released in theaters, and I don't know, I like going to see them.
Yeah, I would say the
I hear
thing
ya.
about
I
it
hear ya.
being shot
Yeah.
for the theaters,
I-
I don't really agree about that. The way they shoot it is pretty close quartered and not very cinematic. I would say it's
Mhm.
more for home media. I think.
I will say I like that they went to the theater with it though, because the more they go to just straight streaming, we don't have a movie theater anymore. I have way fewer movie theaters around me than I did 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
So, so I'm glad for that because that keeps the ones that are left going. But, yeah, no, I can see it. I'll say this, the one thing though, shaky cam during the fight scenes was like going crazy in this movie.
Oh,
And-
you think that was bad? You watch Havoc.
Don't.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
she's being
I mean,
sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic.
I have not watched that one yet.
I am
Don't.
definitely being sarcastic.
Don't.
Lord have
That's-
mercy.
I
Don't-
literally
that movie
like,
shouldn't be called Havoc. I said it in the comment for Sin's video. That movie should be called Hectic because they're bringing back the early 2000s shaky cam and it's obnoxious. Do not bring that back, filmmakers. Leave it
Well,
where
not to
it's
the extent
supposed
they
to be
did,
and let it
for
die.
sure.
I've not seen that one yet, but I will say with this
Yeah.
movie, great fight scenes. But I was like, man, shaky cam was going crazy during the fight scenes, and there was a lot of fight scenes. So
This is
Sorry,
moderate
deleted.
compared to Havoc.
You had
Yeah.
tried to step in and say something a couple
go.
times.
I did, yeah. I've seen Havoc. I had a blast. It brings back
Jason Bourne,
What-
Born
what do you-
Supremacy, shitty, shaky camera.
no. It
I
brings back.
I almost grew
what
up in
was-
Born Supremacy.
It brings back that last Bourne film, which was a piece of shit anyway, is nothing but shaky cam. I get you there, but when it comes to Havoc, I was thinking of another kind of movie. I was thinking of what they used to refer to as the heroic bloodshed movies. These are the movies that John Woo used to do, Ringo Lamb, and it brought me back to that late 80s, early 90s when I started getting interested into Hong Kong action films. That's what it is. And once you realize that's the kind of movie they're going for,
Well, the guy who did the raid
You
movies
know.
did that, so that's why
Yeah.
it was like that.
We got a super chat here.
yeah, we got a
Deleted.
couple. Yeah. Hello to thank you
Oh,
to
hey.
Nadia.
Nadia
Hey.
for $9.99.
So Nadia has a great stream on
Absolutely.
Thursday nights with a bunch of us about The Last of Us, which is a complete chore, but we love hanging out with her. So if you haven't seen her channel, go and subscribe to Horror with Nads.
I'm gonna jump on with Paul there and say, Nad's, she's awesome. Nadia's awesome. Yeah, check her channel out.
Indeed. And we also had a super chat from Geek Flag with Nate Knows. He's one of my channel members. And this was a little while back. He was asking what movie we were talking about. And
Oh,
Fight or
yeah.
Flight is
Very
the
briefly
film.
put it up.
Yeah. All right. So
I did. Sorry, I finally actually read Nadia's super chat. I actually read the whole thing.
Okay, I missed. I think it went over
It's
my
quite
head.
dirty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was dirty, but what was she referring to specifically?
And the Taylor Joy. What's his?
Oh yeah,
Aaron
Aaron
Taylor
Taylor
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
yeah.
He was great in that movie.
Emphasis on the
I think she's
Johnson.
saying he's a hottie.
Well, he is. He's definitely evolved.
And I think
over the
she's
years.
emphasizing the evolving
Yeah.
there. But
So that movie convinced me that he could be actually a pretty decent James Bond. Bullet Train.
I can see that. Yeah.
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 Bond,
Yeah. I can see
James
that.
Bond. Yeah, that would his performance would be that. So.
But anyway, sorry. I just actually looked at all the emojis, all the words, everything, and Nadia on point. There we go.
Evolved. Yeah.
You made me.
I mean, come on. When I first
He
saw him,
evolved.
he was real young, and he was kind of like geeky, gangly, and now he's like this grown-up person. It's like, oh wow, you.
Sin,
You've
I don't
grown
think
up.
you're realizing the euphemisms in this conversation.
It made me laugh. Nadia, thank you so much. You gave me a good laugh tonight. Your super chat did not go unnoticed there. So
It definitely didn't.
Go subscribe to her channel. Get her over 1,000 subscribers. Let's
she's
go.
going to be there before you know it.
Yeah, she will.
And we'll see her on Thursday, yes?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got
Oh,
a double
tell me-
header on Thursday. Well, we'll get to that later.
Anyway, yeah, Fight or Flight. Yeah, I think Hartnett is the standout here. He's the
Oh,
reason to go
there's
see
our
it.
timer.
His personality, I'll say his facial expressions and a lot of the
Oh,
spots.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I'll say that right
So
there.
good.
He played that character, whether you like the movie or not. The spots he was in, the emotions came through on his face. He was acting it out there. But,
He's the saving grace.
yeah, I would say that for
Agreed.
sure.
He's the saving
Yeah.
grace.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Deleted.
Him and just the overall comedic tone.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's an example of an actor who can elevate a project. If it was some other unknown or say a Jai Courtney type of actor, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as good.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
Hartnett proves that he's the reason to go see a movie, and this is an example of why I think that movie stars still exist,
Yes.
and Hartnett is an example of that.
Now you're not going to get into a fight with bad.
I'll still bring up the conversation because it's a good conversation to be had, and I'm right. I know I'm right when it comes to movie stars because they still exist, and Tom Cruise has proven that.
Yeah.
It's not as great as it used to be, but there is such a thing as nuance and degrees in life.
Yeah.
Period.
And I love seeing Josh back in movies. So
Yeah.
whether you like them or not, I like seeing him back.
Yeah.
There's nostalgia there, but
So-
I like seeing him back.
Someone I know said Josh Hotness.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. I can't blame you. He's a good looking
Or just
guy.
Hotnet.
Yeah.
Josh Hotnet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I know our timer has gone.
All
and I
right.
know Deleted has a stream to get.
I do.
Final thoughts.
All right.
again?
So let's go around the horn to final thoughts. So for me, the movie is derivative. It's bullet plane. Bullet plane. That's everybody in my theater was calling it walking out, whether they liked it or not. Bullet plane. Let's just call it bullet plane and get it over with. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not as good, but it does have its moments. Do I think you need to rush out to the theaters to see it? No, but there's a caveat to that. There's very little out right now worth going to see. So if you have this in your theaters and you haven't seen it yet, I would say maybe check it out as a matinee.
Or Ticket Tuesday.
But if you feel that you have to wait for streaming, I'm not going to talk you out of that either. It's fine. I get what it's trying to do. It does have some fun moments. There are some action scenes that work. Yeah, it's okay. I don't think it's anything special, but it's okay.
The movie overall is okay.
Mhm.
With some repetitive nature to some of the fight scenes, with some sprinkles of creative kills, but majoritively the fight scenes are very much kind of copy and paste from the last one and the next one. It's can be better than okay is when you just focus on Hartnett or Hotnet. In this case, he's the reason to go see it. I'll emphasize again.
Yeah.
Whether you see it in the theater or at home. So
yeah, I'm gonna say go see it in the theater. This isn't a movie that like you need to really think about it. And I know a lot of people don't like the turn off your brain thing. It's not really like turn off your brain. It's more like mental junk food. It's like open your brain and stuff potato chips into it. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Neither should you. It's just, a couple hours of fun. And, should you go see it in theaters? I'm going to quote Josh Hotnet. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
I coined this term now. So
Hotnet. Yeah, we'll
Hotnet.
remember. Mark that down.
I'll say overall, I had a good time with it. Not like it's not gonna win Academy Awards, but you can have a fun
No.
time. So like Paul was saying, like not necessarily saying turn your brain off, but just like go in, not don't think it to it too much. Have a fun time. It's an action movie with some dark comedy mixed into it. Some if you like some bloody action kills, I mean, there's some good fight scenes in that. A lot of shaky cam, but they have a good time with it. It's a lot of fun. I'm not mad that I saw it. Let's just say that. So I had a
Same.
good time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was the mystery movie.
Yep.
Sin, what do you think?
I mean, I pretty much feel the same way most of you guys do. It's fun. Don't take it definitely don't take it too seriously. It's not companion level good, but I'm not angry that this was the movie. In fact, when it was revealed that this was the movie, my movie buddy and I, we did a fist bump. We were happy. We were both happy. And we had a good time. We laughed a lot and just came away from it feeling, like it was fun. And Josh Hartnett was definitely the standout.
And his charisma in that, I think carried a lot of it. So that was I had so much fun at the end. Him tripping out on whatever that was.
GMT. Yeah.
Yeah. Him tripping out and doing the final kill scenes. Like
It was
when he
funny.
grabs the chainsaw and he's just like,
Yeah. I just like
or the fireworks coming out of the top of the one lady's
What's
head.
going on?
And
I
he's just
someone
like,
behind her, and he had just
he's
stuck
looking
her in.
at the woman, and then like fireworks shoot out, but it's
Oh.
really like
so
No, that's when it went Kill Bill, and it's just
Yeah.
spurting like a fountain or a
Yeah.
geyser.
but it was like hilarious where it was tripping back and forth between his reality and what was reality. And there was some fun with that. So they had fun with it.
Yep.
There you have it.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go one time around the horn here. Sin, what do you have coming up?
If everything goes well with Levi tomorrow, I will be on a live stream with Sound Booth Theater where we will be discussing Big Trouble in Little China, Guyver 2, Dark Hero, and Death Becomes Her.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm behind. I'm so behind. I gotta watch those two. And I'm gonna see Clown and I'm gonna screen Clown in a Cornfield and maybe get a review up before the weekend. We'll see.
I heard they had sorry, not to jump in, but they had a last minute mystery screening last week at my theater for that one. But
For Clown in Cornfield?
Yes.
Oh,
But
okay. I was gonna go
but
see
I
it
was
this
out of
weekend.
town and I couldn't see it.
Oh,
So-
okay. I was gonna go see it this weekend. Then when I saw that they agreed to give me the screener, I decided I would just watch it beforehand.
When I was walking into this one last night, an older lady was like, "I hope it's not a weird one like last week," and she said it was Clown
in Cornfield. Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, it said it was a horror movie, so you know." But anyway,
Not
sorry.
this one. This one's not. This
No,
one
no,
is
no.
not. The next two are. On the 19th and the 26th.
And I still don't have them. So sorry.
It sucks.
Okay. Paul.
Yeah, so I just dropped my Thunderbolts review, the first review in like over a month and a half. Please go check it out. And
Welcome back, man.
thanks, man. Yeah, long time coming. But we're back with Thirsty Thursdays on Thursday, and I'm doing a double header because I'm doing my stream as well as streaming with Nadia for the Last of Us episode, whatever it's on, because it feels like homework. So
you're enjoying the show.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. But yeah, come check us out on Thursday. I believe Nadia and a couple other people from her stream are coming on Thirsty Thursday. So yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern this Thursday.
Cool. Corey.
If Paul sends me a link, I might be on there Thursday.
Oh,
as
you're
well.
on, man. You're on. You're on for sure.
You know, I'm always questionable. I never know. I kind of push the limits once in a while, but
No, you do not.
love hanging. Well, I'll say this right off. Deleted. Thanks for having me on again. Really enjoy this. I'll tell you what. After a long day of work, that was not cooperating with me, this was something to look forward to. So I always appreciate having a good time hanging out with you all, talking about stuff that we enjoy. So thank you. This made my night. So but that being said, Thursday I might be on Paul's. If he
You
sends
will
me an
be.
invite. Okay, I will be on Paul's on Thursday.
Why might?
I am very pessimistic.
He has
I
such
just
like
always-
low self confidence that that we're gonna
I'm
wanna
gonna
hang with him or something.
shoot low,
might
and if it's
happen,
high,
but-
I'm good. Shoot low, and if it's high, it's good. But other than that, I think I'm going to be on a few other streams next week of other
Okay,
people's channels.
I need to hear you say you will be on Thursday.
I'm going to be on Paul's channel
Yes,
Thursday.
there you go.
And it's going to make the
There you
channel.
go.
It's going to be awesome because I will be there, and Paul
okay.
will
Now
be,
we've gone
and
extreme.
and Paul will be really excited because I'm there. Sorry, Paul.
course.
I didn't mean to go that far, but no, I'm looking forward to it. In all sincerity, I really love doing this, and I really appreciate you having me on doing this after a day of work that was like beating me up. I get to talk about movies and hang out and have a good time with you guys. So I had a good time. That's all I have to say. I'll shut up
Glad
now.
you made it, Corey.
Yeah, thank you.
I agree. I haven't been on in a while, and it's nice to connect with you guys and talk about a movie again.
Yeah.
So I'll be on Paul's stream for Thirsty Thursday as well. And this past Friday, I just released a great talk that I had with a friend and attorney about Jerry Maguire. It was
Oh
his
yes.
pick to do that movie
was a good
because
one.
that movie made him want to become a lawyer. So it even has
Yeah.
a deeper meaning to the discussion and involvement with that. So, audience, go and enjoy that video and show it some love, please.
Yes. Go check it out.
All right. Well, that brings things back around to me. Stay till the end of the broadcast. You will be redirected to my next show, which is live from Sparkford in 21. It is a retrospective of the Twin Peaks television series and all things David Lynch. And tonight we are going to be discussing and watching Industrial Symphony #1. The Dream of the Brokenhearted, part musical, part I don't know what, but it's very good. It's got a lot of music, great Angelo Badalamenti and Julie Cruz. So please stay tuned. Then later on this week, Thursday night at 11:30. Coming attractions, my chance to touch base with my channel members and subscribers, talk about what I'm going to be doing in the next week. As we mentioned earlier, I'm going to be joining Big Al Presents for Films with Friends, and we're going to be watching Marooned. And my two shows on the weekend, Scripted and Reserved Seats, will be returning this upcoming Sunday. And looking through my Regal app, yes, we do have two horror movies coming up for the next two mystery movies. And on 9th at my Regal, the 40th anniversary edition of Reanimator. So I know where I'm going to be. I'm gonna go see Reanimator, so that's gonna be my Monday. All right. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us here in the chat, especially Tim and Nate and Super Chats. I want to thank everybody who was following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. And of course, I want to thank my panel for once again joining me for the broadcast, which pretty much started out with me doing outside of the theater episodes on the movies, and now we've banded together this Manson family of film critics. And I should
One of us
probably
is going to have to grow really long hair and have a big beard. I'll nominate Corey because he can grow the beard.
I'm sorry. I shaved.
I mean,
my
I already
beard.
have the long
I
hair,
saved my
but
beard.
I can't do the beard.
Yeah, I actually have a
Sorry.
beard already. So here we go. All righty. So, any last words, guys, before we close the show?
No more sequels.
Oh, here we go.
Faculty 2.
I got
give it a
nothing.
thumbs up.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
And good night. And I always say at the end of every show, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
Exactly.